What up, YouTube? PJ here. This Dog Pound 24/7. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead, take that time, hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that notification bell. Good afternoon to you all. Got a quick video for you guys today. This video is mind-blowing. It is a 1 in a million chances this happens to anybody. I can't believe I ever forgot about this happening and not sharing this sooner, because it got brought up last night. I was reminiscing with somebody about doing time in a specific county jail, which I'm about to talk about, and this came up. I couldn't believe this ever happened, and I witnessed it with my own 2 eyes. I put this on Everything I Love. This story is true, and it's crazy as all hell. But before I get into that, I want to thank all my subscribers and viewers for your loyalty and dedication to my channel. You guys have been awesome. I truly appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to make donations to my channel, you can do so by visiting my Cash App. All the information is in the description box below. All donations are truly appreciated, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So let's get right into this story. All right. This is back in 2005. This is before I ever did prison time or anything like that. I was in the county jail, Monroe County Jail, which is the second largest county jail in New York State, right behind Rikers Island. I was in there doing a couple months for something stupid, something minor, I think driving without a license, something along them lines. All right. Well, as I was doing my little county bid, I ran into a guy there by the name of David Anderson. And this guy, I kind of knew prior to this. I've known him from the streets. Dude wasn't a bad guy. He just had a lot of issues with drugs, in and out of jail, burned his bridges with his family, this, that, and the third. So when he was in there, his mother was on hospice. All right. His mother was not doing well. She was on her way out, and dude was devastated that he wasn't going to be able to be there for his mother. Nobody would bail him out. Like I said, he's burned his bridges with his siblings, all that, his family. They felt safer with him in jail, just like a lot of mothers did, feel safer with their kids in jail because they know where they are. They can rest, they can actually sleep at night. It was one of the type of deals, you know what I'm saying? So he was in the county jail, but he was determined to get out. All right. He was determined to get out of jail so he could be with his mother before she passed. All right. So for like the first few days, he was contacting everybody. Nobody would bail him out, wanted them to sit in jail. They didn't care, because this dude was ripping and roaring out there. All right, he's an extremist like I was, and he just burnt the bridge, and his family. I remember he was on the phone with, I think, his brother or maybe older sister or whatever, and dude was in tears when he got off the phone, because he probably felt like shit. They made him feel like shit, but it is what it is. They're showing him the tough love, and they just felt safer with him in jail, so they didn't want to bail him out. But anyway, dude came up with an idea. All right. It's crazy as hell, but you ever hear them things called the damn phone book? Yeah, phone book. He ended up getting a phone book from, the jail deputy. Told him he had to make some attorney calls, try to find an attorney, and they got him a phone book. Well, what this dude was doing all day long, he was going through the phone book, and if you look in a Rochester, New York phone book, all right, his last name is common as hell, Anderson. There must be hundreds of Andersons in the Rochester phone book. So what he was doing, he was contacting these people, and he was playing it off like he was a family member needing to be bailed out of jail. A lot of people actually accepted his call. I was, sitting by him for a majority of the time. A lot of these people are taking his call, and he ended up getting hold, after like a day of doing this, a hold of an elderly woman. All right. She ended up accepting his call. And lo and behold, this dude played it off as, he was her grandson. Grandma in jail. I remember he put the phone to my ear, and I couldn't believe this. All right. And, he was sitting there talking to her, all day. Saying, Grandma, I can't lose my job, this, that. And she's like, oh, I don't know, David. I don't have the money, something like that. Kept going. And he kept telling me that she doesn't have the money to bail him out, this, that, and the third. Well, anyway, after I don't know, that day went by, and I remember the next morning he called her, and she wasn't accepting his call. So he's like, oh, fuck it. He gave up on the phone book shit because it ain't going to work, this, that, and the third. She wasn't accepting his call all morning, and he felt that was kind of odd, Because she didn't say anything to him other than, you know, see what I can do and we'll talk to people. I'll see what I can do and whatever the case was. So I remember after breakfast the next day, I was laying in bed reading a book. Okay, because after breakfast in Monroe County Jail, after every meal, you got to lock in and then they do pod cleanup. Well, I remember laying there, I was reading a book and listening to my radio or whatever. And next thing I know, I hear a cell door pop about 2 or 3 cells down from me. All right. Hear it pop, and Dave comes to my cell door because he was only like 3 cells down from me. Comes to my door and says, "Yo, I am going home. I am bailed out." He was shocked. He was jumping up and down, happy as all hell, and I was fucking shocked. I am sorry, but I was fucking floored. All right, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude! Holy shit! I was happy for him. All right, I was happy for the guy because he's gonna be able to go home and see his mother. But he honestly thought it was a family member that bailed him out. So when you get bailed out of Monroe County Jail, it's a process. It takes forever for them to come get your ass. And so he still had a couple hours before he was going to actually walk out of the pod to go down to booking. So we ended up coming out of lockout, and I went down and talked to him. And I'm sitting there talking to him like, dude, what if it's that lady? He's like, nah, it can't be. It's got to be my sister or whatever. This and the third. So I'm like, but what if it is that lady? You know, she didn't say no, she's not coming to bail you out, this and that, because he played the shit out of this lady. And that, it's wrong. I know it's kind of a scumbag. It is not kind of, it is a scumbag move. But the dude was desperate. His mother was literally dying. And I know she was. I know he wasn't just saying this shit. Because I remember, you know, him being on the phone, arguing with his brother, his siblings about, you know, him not being home for her last, you know, days. And so I said, dude, what if this lady is really there and she came to bail you out, you know? And he was convinced it wasn't her. So anyway, he ended up, you know, sitting in jail for like, I don't know, a couple more hours until they would come again. And then he finally was convinced it's gotta be her, this, that, and the third. So I said to him, like, dude, if it's her, what are you gonna do? Because she's gonna be waiting out in the lobby for you, you know, for you to walk out those doors. He's like, dude, if I make it to the lobby, if I make it that far, I'm booking it. I'm booking it and I'm gone. It's over. So sure enough, they ended up calling him. They ended up coming to get him. And that was it, right? So guess what? About, I don't know, 5 days to a week later, I was sitting there playing. I'm speechless, all right, because this shit's crazy. I'm sitting there playing cards. It was like after dinner time. I was playing spades, and, you know, in Monroe County Jail, you have new guys that come on the floor every day. It's huge, all right? So I remember the door opening, and I remember about 7 guys, didn't think it was going, 7 guys come walking in, new guys coming in, and lo and behold, there is Dave. He's right there with the people. They held his cell for him. But, yeah, I went right up to him like, dude, what the fuck? That lady came and bailed him out. Sure enough, that lady came and bailed his ass out. Came and bailed his ass out on like a $200 bail. It was very, very small bail. She came down and bailed him out, thinking that's her grandson that was incarcerated. He ended up getting arrested for a whole slew of shit behind this, all right? So don't ever try to impersonate somebody. They bail your ass out because it's very... He ended up going to prison behind it. He ended up getting a 1 to 3. Never forget it. Yeah, he got in trouble for impersonation, all this other shit over a jail phone. They charged him with something over the phone. I don't remember what it was, but he got charged with a slew of shit. And what happened was, when he left, you know, the unit that day, they brought him down to booking and, you know, changed into his street clothes. And soon as he got released into the lobby, he seen the woman there. She was old, dude. She must have been, he said, in her 80s. She was old, and soon he seen her sitting right there. It's a small little lobby with about 6 seats, and she was sitting there waiting for him. And she didn't know, you know, when he went out there. He just kept it moving, got out the door, and gone. He booked it. Well, obviously the lady sat there for some time, realizing that her grandson is really not coming out. So she notified them and said, yo, listen, you know, my grandson, where is he? I've been waiting for hours. We released him, ma'am. We released him. She's like, where? You know, you guys already know. And, yeah, they released him. So I come to find out, they started investigating everything and realized that David, Anderson that they just released was not the David Anderson she was, there to pick up and bail out. And dude, he was in the street 5 days, 5 days or 4 or 5 days before they came and got him, charged him, locked him up. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you. It was mind blowing. I could not believe that shit happened, because that's like 1 in a million chances. All right, because that is crazy. That he was home like 5 days. His mother didn't pass yet. She ended up passing, sadly, when he was locked back up. That dude went through it when his mom, eventually went. But yeah, he got to spend 4 or 5 days with his mother, and I remember he told me, dude, I know he felt bad what he did to the elderly woman. He really felt bad. I mean, he felt bad. He even went as far as he wrote a 2-page apology letter to the woman, sent it to her, because he got her address through, the court papers, because the woman made a statement on him, and you get all that. You could see her address. I, such and such, reside at blah, 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 Rochester, New York. So you get her address. See, never heard back from her. I'm not sure if he did, ever, because I left, I don't know, a couple weeks after he came back, because once you're sentenced in Monroe County, you go over to the jail, a different jail for sentenced inmates. So I ended up leaving him after a couple weeks of him coming back. But yeah, he ended up telling me that he was able to spend 4 or 5 days with his mother, and that's all he did. And he felt like shit. The guy felt like shit, because the guy really wasn't a bad guy, but he was in desperate mode. He was trying to get out to spend the last final days with his mother, and I can't really mock that. He had a conscience, and he realized that he was a scumbag thing he did to that woman. But when it comes to family, you'll go to any length, that desperation, So yeah, he ended up getting caught, going to prison behind all that. And so don't ever do that. Don't ever try. You really can't do that these days. It's not as easy. This was shit almost 20 years ago. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. So if you want, you can leave a, excuse me, I got distracted by, I thought he was coming to talk to me. So if you want to leave any, comments, please feel free. Ask anything about it. I'm not forgetting nothing, no. So, but it's pretty much what you got charged with. You went to prison, and it sucked. And it sucked. What it is, shortly after he went and did his prison bid, he ended up passing away. He ended up coming home after losing his mother. Dude never was right. And he ended up, going and, not making it. I mean, his mother was everything to him. So he ended up, dying, overdosing, never got his shit together. So I thought I'd share that with you, because I'll never forget that as long as I live. It is mind-blowing that even worked. And, it's unbelievable. But, and he was like a legend in that county jail, because that went around the whole jail that he got bailed out. And I remember going down the medical, and people were talking about it. Like, dude, it was big news, because it was on the local news as well. We'll never forget that. I remember it was on the local news. The guy bailed out. But yeah, I thought I'd share that story with you. It's crazy as all hell. But like I said, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit that notification bell. And people, you know how it is. I got to get in and watch some playoff football. You know how it is. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Please do that for me. Do it for the kid, all right? And everybody stay free, safe, and corona free. Until next time, see ya.